welcome to my channel, Untitled Tarot. My name is Laura. I'm very happy to be here with you guys today. It is February 5th, so we are still in Aquarius season. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Not my favorite holiday. It's different for us single people, isn't it? Although I will say Valentine's Day is really supposed to be about a celebration of love of all kinds, not just romantic love. So let's do that. Let's just celebrate love this Valentine's Day. And let's celebrate it today. Why not? So I want to do just a yes or no pick a card reading today. The one that's out there is a couple weeks old. And I do like to keep a fresh one out there because you guys have new questions all the time. And it helps, it's interactive, so you think of the question and then you pick the pile that's speaking to you, and hopefully that will give you a definite yes or no. Sometimes it's more maybe, but you just got to go with what the cards say. But like I said, I do like to keep a fresh one out there, so when you guys have questions, you can just go to that. If you just have a quick question and you don't need a whole reading. I do want to remind everybody that I do offer readings. Personal readings, so that you can go to untitled.tarot.com and find out how to reach me there. That's where I house my blog. It's also where you can find out information about how to contact me and the type of readings that I offer. So if you're interested in a personal reading, absolutely go there and check that out. So basically, most of you will know the drill. If you're not familiar with pick-a-cards, I will go through the process of picking once you get to the 4 piles, which I'm going to do next. I'm going to choose the piles and then I will put the camera down so you guys can see the choices for this week, and then choose the pile that's speaking to you, and then you'll be able to, with the timestamps that I will put in the description box below, you'll be able to go directly to your reading. So I think that's all the business for right now. Again, it is such a pleasure to be with you guys today. I am done with all of my deadlines. It's been a rough January. I've been very busy, which is good, you know, but it's also nice to be free. So here we go. I'll put the camera down and you will be able to choose the pile that's speaking to you, and then you can go directly to your reading because I will put timestamps in the description box below. Let's get started on this week's yes or no pick a card reading. Welcome back, my friends. These are going to be your options for the yes or no pick a card this week. If you already know how to pick your cards and you're familiar with yes or no pick a cards, I'll just run through real quick what the numbers are here and what the stone is on top of each of the piles. And you guys know the drill. There's a timestamp in the description box below. For those of you that have never done a pick a card before, stick around and I'll talk through, you know, how you might want to choose the pile. Okay, this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. On pile 1, we have a Malachite. Can you see that? I don't know. Oh, weird. Okay, on pile 2, we have Verdite Quartz crystal. On pile 3, an Amazonite. And on pile 4, a blue tiger's eye. That's unique. Okay, again, this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. For you guys, go ahead and choose your pile, and I will see you at your reading. For those of you who have never done a pick a card reading before, so there are several ways to choose the pile. First of all, it should be very intuitive and don't second guess yourself. If something's speaking to you, go ahead and choose that pile. I will say that these readings are viewed by many, so if that pile does not resonate with you, don't try to make it fit. Click off of it, pick another pile, or go on to another yes or no pick a card reading. I have several out there, and other YouTube readers have them out there too. Okay. So basically, like I said, it should be intuitive. Don't think about it too much. Some people choose based on the number. They just happen to, you know, like the number 3 is just their number. I kind of fall into that category. It's just one of my numbers. I have a few. Some people choose based on the crystal, like that is on the card, like it's calling to them, or it means something to them. If they know what the meaning is already, or they just like it. They just like the color, they're attracted to the color, that's fine too. Some people will choose based on the timestamp, particularly if they're number kind of people. Some people like synchronicities in numbers, so they see synchronicities in the timestamps, so they'll choose based on that. And then, however you choose, I will say it's always best to be pretty relaxed. So if you can take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Some people will do that with their eyes closed, and then when they open their eyes, whichever one they're drawn to, that's the one for them. Okay, so those are the ways to choose, or you can choose any other way that you like. However you choose, you can like put some numbers in a hat and draw the numbers. However you choose is the right way for you. So again, this is pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I will put the timestamps in the description box below, so you can go directly to your reading, and we will see you there. Welcome back, guys. If you chose pile 1 for your pick a card reading this time, these are going to be your messages, and pile 1 did have the malachite on it. Malachite, all the green stones actually are about abundance, and that means abundance in all areas, but absolutely can include like wealth and careers and stuff. So it's just lush, green, abundance. All right, for your reading, let's see if we got a yes or no here. I'm going to save these oracle cards for a little bit and start with the tarot. I chose the herbal tarot today. Like green is definitely my theme today. I am feeling, I mean, it's green here in Florida because it is year round. You get some green, but it's not that, you know, lush spring green that we get like at the end of February, beginning of March, but it's so coming and it's so on its way, and I can tell it's on its way that I've got a fever for it. So that's what all the green in the herbal tarot is about today. I'm just longing for spring. All right, let's see what we got here in the herbal tarot. The first card you got is the Four of Swords. The second card you have is the Six of Swords. The Ace of Swords. And the Page of Wands. So just for further tarot messages, I got a couple of the Druid Craft Tarot. You got the Two of Wands. And you got the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a yes. This is this is a yes after a little bit of struggle here. You have the Five of Pentacles, which is the card of mourning. If you notice, she's very sad. There's shadows, animal shadows in the background there. She's mourning something. She's lost something. She's lost somebody. She's lost job. She may have lost several things. But she's really in the thick of the mourning process. Something has been lost here. So whenever you go through some period like this where you've been a little down and out, cast out in the cold, loss, it can be financial loss because it's got the pentacles there, but it's just a card of loss. There's nothing else to say about that. So then you have the Four of Pentacles, which is a card, or the Four of Swords here, which is a card of rest. It's a card sometimes of self-care. Like you just need to be better about your diet, or you need to take care of yourself, like go have a spa day, you know. It's self-care. It's like taking care of you. In this particular reading, it looks a little bit more like rest to me. After you go through a period of loss and a period of mourning, a period of being cast out into the cold, you just have to take a little bit of a break from that. So that's kind of the past and what brings us here to this reading. The next card you got here is the Six of Swords, and the Six of Swords is moving on from problems. It's brighter days ahead. So the good news for you guys is this is ending and you are moving on to a much brighter future. You notice there are swords in this boat. That indicates that some of the problems are going with you. You still have some problems. However, it just gets so much better that you feel lighter, and it's just really good. Now, this can also mean just taking a vacation from your problems. So keep that in mind. The Ace of Swords, this is kind of how you get this break. This is kind of how you're able to move forward into calmer waters and brighter days that are ahead. The Ace of Swords, aces are always new beginnings. They're always new beginnings on offer from the hand of God, the universe, the divine. So this is like a new beginning that a lot of times it's a victory. It's a hard-won victory, like something happens that you win something that carries you forward. But this can also be a clarity of thought here. Swords are mental. They're associated with the air signs, so they're thoughts and ideas. And sometimes the thoughts can weigh you down. They can make you tired. They make you overthink things. And then sometimes the thoughts provide a tremendous amount of clarity that changes your life. And that's what's happening. You get some clarity from somewhere, from some communication with somebody, from a new idea, from something fresh comes in. You win something in some way that gives you the clarity to start anew, to start fresh, like maybe making a decision based on some really good information that you get that helps you decide which direction that you want to go in next. This is over. The egg will not go back in the shell. There's no going back to this. You have to mourn the loss, and it looks like you have been mourning the loss. You've been with it for a while. You've not only mourned the loss, but you've taken a break, like the rest that is required after a tremendous loss. And not had any action for a bit. And then now you get some information or something that comes in that helps you move forward to this brighter future that is over here. These are very similar. You got the Page of Wands here and you got the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands in this particular deck, this is the Long Man of Wilmington. That, they're like those chalk outlines that are in the mountains or in the hills, I guess you would say, in England. This one is in Sussex, England. But it's really cool. But it is a man with two staffs there, with two wands. And the meaning of the card is looking out on your future and deciding where you want to go next. That's what it is. So the Page of Wands, guess what, is a new beginning. But this is a new beginning. Like I said, the aces are new beginnings from the hand of God. The pages are new beginnings that are offered on the earthly plane. So this is maybe some new idea that comes to you, maybe some new job that comes to you, maybe some new adventure. Wands are associated with the fire signs. There's adventure in that. The Page of Wands is actually the card for Sagittarius, the minor arcana for Sagittarius. So that may be a time frame for some of you guys, like in the time of Sagittarius, which would have been the end of November and the beginning of December. That's when this happened, when you got some clarity or something came into you that caused you to break free and to move forward and have a new beginning. So you've been trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. The page is kind of taking up one of those wands and going forward with that new adventure. So yeah, this is a yes. This is breaking free from the past, moving on to brighter days and moving on to a new adventure, and it's one of your choosing. You've had to take stock. You've had to look out at what it is that you want to do, and you have decided what adventure you want next, and you're taking it up. All the things that you need to take up that adventure are available to you right now. Okay, so for these oracle cards, for the angels and ancestors, I just asked the question, What final words of wisdom do you have for pile 1, or what advice do you have for pile 1? And you got water guardian, connect with your emotions. And for the, I love synchronicities like this, but for the sacred traveler, I asked the question, what does pile 1 need to do? What action do they need to take, if any? And you got cleansing water, purification activates vibrant life force. Let me say that again. Purification activates vibrant life force. So basically what these are both about water. Waters are, that's emotion, that's intuition, that's emotion and intuition. This is saying connect with your emotions. It literally says that, connect with your emotions. This is saying get into the water, and I don't, there's so many ways to do this, but who is it that said cleanliness is next to godliness? There's something about water that purifies you, that it can help you just wash away. Like if you're really stressed or something, if you go take a dip in the ocean, when you get out, you just feel freer. It does have a way of purifying you and helping you to adjust, like if you need an attitude adjustment or whatever, if you need to be thinking about something in a different way. The water has a way of, it's fluid, right? So it doesn't like cut off your negative attitudes. It helps you flow with that negative attitude, and it helps you adjust slightly to a new perception, is how it does it. And so you can do this by, it's wintertime in a lot of parts of the country, a lot of parts in the world. It's very cold. You can just run a warm bath, maybe with some bubbles, have some candles, a glass of wine. That's one of the ways I like to purify with water. You can just take a shower. You know how that goes. Like that water just beating on you really kind of has a way of refreshing your thoughts, refreshing your emotions, refreshing your psyche. That's what it is. This is just saying use water to do that. Whether you go swimming in the ocean, whether you go swimming in a pool, an indoor pool, doesn't matter. Get in the water. There is something about water. Maybe if you are taking a vacation, maybe it is over water, maybe it is on a boat, or something like that. So there is some water connection here. But mostly I'm thinking this just is almost like saying go with the flow, take care of yourself, get in the water, and ride this wave. This part is over. Things are happening in a more, I think this is saying do it in a more fluid way. Yes, you are going out on this adventure, but it's all very fluid. Just be willing to be still and to go with the direction that you've chosen. Okay, that's all I have for pile 1. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Okay, if you chose pile 2, these are going to be your messages for the yes or no pick a card. Pile 2 had the Verdite Quartz on it. So let's start with the tarot. I'll hold off on these oracle and we'll talk about those in a minute. But we'll start with the tarot and see if we can get a definitive yes or no. Sometimes it is maybe, unfortunately. So let's see what we got here. You got the Chariot. You got the Temperance card and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, just for further messages from tarot, I got a couple of Druid Craft tarot. You got the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. So I do think this is a yes. You got a couple of major arcana here. You got Temperance and the Chariot. The Temperance card is about balance. It's about alchemy. It's about blending this and that to make something completely new. It's about if your life has been out of balance, which looks like it has been for some people. This 10 of Wands is way too much burden, way too much work, way too many obligations. Just carrying too much. Now, the 10, the good thing about the 10 is it's an ending and a beginning at the same time. So this overburden part is stopping, and I think it stops because you get some balance in your life, which we all need, but sometimes is not as easier said than done, right? But you do get balance, and you are able to move forward through your sheer strength and your willpower. You're actually, this has got a yin and yang symbol here. Usually has two horses, one black and one white in front. That's two very strong willed animals going in opposite directions. And that's kind of what the Chariot represents. You've got two very strong opposing ideas, people, with ideas that want you to do things a certain way. This is yin and yang, it's male and female, so they're just very opposite. I can't even think of what the word would be. They're opposite. They're directions for your life that are in opposition. That's what it is. So, and that may have something to do with these burdens. Some of these, I mean, these burdens are not all, it's all one thing. It's all maybe a lot of different things. So what you have done is through your sheer willpower and vision for what it is that you want for your future, you have balanced these opposing forces. And sometimes it was alchemy. It's not like just brute force. You've done them both, by the way. You've done the sheer willpower moving forward just on putting one foot in front of the other and being completely focused on your goal. And then you've also sometimes you've had to blend this and blend that to make it through this. But you have made it through. That 10 of Wands is an ending and it is a beginning. It is an end of the struggle and it's the beginning of something new. Well, what's new is the Knight of Pentacles is financial, right? Pentacles are material things. It's not necessarily finance. It's things that are important to survival in the earth plane, on the earth plane. So you're talking food, clothing, shelter, money, jobs, those kind of things. It's all those practical, everyday things that you need to survive. So Knights are always bringing something into your life. Now I will say this, the Knight of Pentacles is slow moving energy. So this new money, this new job, this new whatever it is, this new house, this new whatever it is that gives you some financial stability is coming to you, but it is coming slowly. This is not like what you call a get rich quick scheme that you're a part of. This is something that you've built. You've built it through hard work and determination, willpower, strength, juggling some opposing ideas or demands on your time and attention, and it is coming to you. It is coming slowly, but look at this. The 9 of Pentacles is wish fulfillment. It's complete wish fulfillment. It's complete abundance. It's complete satisfaction. It's self-sufficiency. Are you trying to be financially independent? That's a lot of hard work. Maybe that's that kind of, I feel like it's something like that. I feel like it's something that brings you great success financially, but you have had to work really, really hard for it. But it is coming in. So if your question is, will it ever happen? Because I'm exhausted here. Is it ever going to happen? Yeah, it's going to happen. And again, a slower moving energy, but it does bring you complete abundance. So everything happens in divine timing. So I'm not going to try to get a win on this. I might. Let me look at these and see what this advice is first. And if, let me just look at these first. Okay. So for the Angels and Ancestors Oracle, I just asked the question, what advice can you give to pile 2, or what is your final words of wisdom? And you got Hunter. Track down your fears and desires. And for the Sacred Traveler, I asked, what, if anything, does pile 2 need to do? What action do they need to take? And you got answering the call. The time is now. Okay. All right, so I love this card. It's such a good message. So what this card means, hunt down your fears and desires, is by figuring out, it's kind of like the law of attraction, right? What you focus on is what you get. So if you hunt down your fears, if you figure out what it is you're afraid of, what is stopping you from having this Nine of Pentacles life, this completely abundant life, it's going to come down to a fear of something. So let's just keep it simple. I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid if I go after this thing that I want, then I'm going to fail. Okay, so you find that fear and you turn it around. You're afraid of failing, so what you desire is to be successful at accumulating this wealth. So that's just a real simple example of how if you find out what you're afraid of, then your desire becomes very clear. What you want is to be independently wealthy. That's what you want. So then, again, like with the law of attraction, instead of focusing on what you're afraid of, I'm afraid I'm going to fail, I'm afraid I'm going to fail, you focus on what you desire. I am independently wealthy. I can pay for anything that I possibly need and still have money left over to play the stock market, to play in the world, to travel, to do whatever I want. I am independently wealthy. I never have to go back and work for somebody else again because I am independently wealthy. Does that make sense? Find out what it is that you're afraid of, hunt down those fears, and then that will tell you what your desires are, and then you focus on the desire. Only, not on the fear, only on the desire. Okay, so what you need to do, what action you need to take is answering the call. You know what you want, the time is now. Don't procrastinate. That's it right there, don't procrastinate. I kind of don't feel like, from this reading, I'm not seeing that you guys are procrastinating. I think that you've been struggling really hard and you've been trying to balance things. And maybe that's where this fear and desire thing, you have the fear and you have the desire and you're trying to balance it. That's what this is saying. Focus on just the desire, not on that fear. Just focus on what you want. So I don't feel like you guys have been lazy about it. I think there's, you've been working really hard about it and you've been really trying to make it work. Really trying to make it work. I think this might actually be a phone call for some of you. When it says answering the call, I think something's coming into you guys that brings your desire forward, that moves your desire forward. It's like I said, slow moving energy, but it is moving. So it looks like there is something happens, either a phone call, an email, something like that, even just an idea comes to you that helps you understand exactly what you need to do to get this. It may come from this soul searching here. And helping you focus on just what you desire. So then you get something that helps push you in this direction. A phone call, an email, an idea. And this is saying, don't hesitate when you get it, move on it, act on it. And then that will move you towards your whatever that, I say independently wealthy, because that, you know, that's just one goal. There's many financial goals. Whatever your financial goal is for you, maybe you want to buy a house, maybe you want to get a job, and maybe you've had to go to school or whatever it is that you desire in the way of finances and setting you up for great abundance financially. And this is not just stability, this is great abundance. Okay, I do want to see if I can find, I think the win is for when this call comes in, when this idea comes in, when this email comes, when this Nine of Pentacles starts, when it comes, if there's any indication of when here for, okay, hold on just a second, let me just think here for a minute, I need to focus. Okay, so when, what's the question, when? I think I'm going to focus on this. When does this call come in? When can we expect this information or this call, whatever it is? When is the call? Okay. Oh boy. You got the Hermit here and you got the Queen of Cups. So this is a time frame for me. The Hermit card is the major arcana for Virgo. The Queen of Cups is minor arcana for Scorpio. So to me, Virgo time is the end of August, beginning of September. Scorpio is the end of October, beginning of November. So for many of you, this comes between August and November of this year. Now, if you're like me and you're a little bit impatient, and I can be patient when I have to be. It's not one of my virtues, though I know it is a virtue. That seems like a long time away. So keep doing what you're doing. You have found a way to balance. You are out of the struggle. You have found a way to balance, and so things are getting much better for you. And things are moving forward. You got the Nine of Pentacles. It may be slow moving energy, like I said, but it is moving. Things are moving forward. I think you can expedite this by finding out what it is you're afraid of, and therefore finding out what it is that you really want, and become laser focused on what it is that you want, and only focus on that. I think you might be able to expedite it. If not, please find a way to be happy in the moment, even if you don't have this yet, because it might be August to November of this year that this breaks open for you. Now, it might be August to November that this happens, that it just happens. So when you think about it that way, being completely financial independent or completely reaching your goal, whatever your goal may be, a new house, a dream job, that's not too far away when you think about it that way. When you think about this call brings you this, that's not too far away. So whatever you do, just be healthy and happy today. And best of luck to you with this thing that's going to happen for you. It is a yes. Okay, that's all I have for pile 2. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Okay, welcome back, guys. If you chose pile 3 for your yes or no pick a card, these are going to be your messages. And pile 3 did have the Amazonite on it. That's pretty. Okay, so I got tarot cards here. I got some oracle cards here. I'll hold off on the oracle. And let's just look at the tarot first and see if we can get a definitive yes or no for this pile. Got too many. No, I'm not going to say too many, but I got a lot of cards here for you guys. Let's see what we got. Wowza. Okay. So, we got the Seven of Swords. We got the Emperor. We got the Fool. We got the Lovers. And we got the Sun. My God, you guys. Okay. Yeah, this is a yes. This is definitely a yes. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards here. You also got the Sun, which in yes or no reading is always yes. So, and you don't have too many bad cards, so this is it's pretty exciting, you guys. Let me calm down here. I'm excited because I chose pile 3 for mine. So, all right. Let's start with this Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is always taking your leave. Wood Betony. I wonder what that. I don't know what the herbs mean, but I love that they're in these cards. I learn some stuff sometimes. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is always taking your leave. In the Rider-Waite deck, there is this. It's this guy. It can be the card of thievery, trickery, that kind of thing. I'm not seeing that from this card. I think you're moving. I think you're moving on to something, or from something. In the Rider-Waite Seven of Swords, there's this circus over here, and this guy, this I don't know, juggler or clown or I don't know, acrobat, whatever he is leaving with some of the swords. So a lot of times this is a card of leaving the circus. For me, it's like whatever it is that you're leaving was kind of a joke, or it ended up being a joke. It didn't start that way, but it ended up just being a circus and not where you needed to be. So the Seven of Swords is always taking your leave. You are leaving behind something that did not work out, something that became kind of a joke, something that it's time to leave. It's just time to leave. Okay. The second card you got here is the Emperor, Major Arcana for Aries. It is also a card of establishing yourself out in the world. Can be in business. Can be, you get this card a lot of times for young people that are just leaving home after graduating from high school or after graduating from college. Most people go to college these days. Back in my day, it was just after you graduated from high school, or in my particular case, before you even graduated from high school. In any case, it is leaving home. It's not leaving home. It's establishing yourself out in the world. That's what this card means. And it's establishing yourself out in the world through the Father order. This can mean Father. But by the Father order, we mean willpower, strength, determination, methodical action, things that you have to do to establish yourself out in the world, and it's that kind of energy. The next card that you have here is the Lovers. The Lovers is always a choice, and it's a choice in, well, it can be a choice between two things that you love. It can be a choice between two people that you love. It can be a choice between something that you love and something else, or it can be a choice between something that you love and something else that you love. It's always a choice that has to do with love, not necessarily romantic love, but can be, yeah. But it is a choice, but it does have something to do with what you love. Okay, the next card you have here is the Fool. This is stepping out into the unknown. You are taking your leave, and you're taking a leap of faith at the same time. I think you think about it. I think there's a choice. I think you don't have to. I think you want to establish yourself out in the world, but there is a choice. Maybe there's a choice between two ways to do that. Maybe two options come to you, two things that you love, that you would love to try or that you would love to do, and you have to make a decision on one of them. But you're starting over. No, I hate the word start. I don't like the phrase starting over, because a lot of times that means when you start over, you just begin the same cycle again, and every time you start over, you just repeat the same cycle. So I like starting anew, starting fresh. That's what's happening. You're breaking out into a fresh new path. You have no idea where you're going. You have no idea who you're taking with you. In this card, sometimes there's a little dog you're taking like one companion with you. This guy's alone. Not taking anybody with you. You're taking very few possessions, what you can fit in this backpack. You're jumping off into the abyss. You have no idea how it's going to turn out. You just have faith. You just have faith. And good for you, because it does turn out beautifully. The sun is the happiest card in the deck. It is joyful. What you're stepping out in, though there's so many unknowns with, is you're stepping out into your joyful, happy, fulfilled future. That's what's happening. So I said all that before I even got these other two tarot cards. My gosh, this is a definite yes. This is a beautiful yes. You are breaking free, and you are going out into the unknown. You have a big adventure coming for you. And it establishes you in the world. There may be some love out there for you in this new. I feel like you're changing location for sure. Oh my goodness, 10 of Cups. And Queen of Cups. There is some love there for some of you guys in this unknown that you're busting out into. The Queen of Cups is, it's either Scorpio. That's minor arcana for Scorpio. Or it is an older woman who is just very loving and giving, very in touch with her emotions. She's very good at relating to people on an emotional level. But she's kind of almost, she's not the King of Cups, but she's right there. She's almost mastered her emotions. Like, she understands them. She's not afraid of them. She will be open with you. She'll open herself up to you, which means she's not closed off or whatever. But she doesn't let her emotions rule her. She does realize that emotions are a part of making a decision, but they're only one part of it. So she's that woman. I always call her like the kindergarten teacher. She's so open and loving, and all kids love her, that kind of thing. The other card you have here is the 10 of Cups, and this is a very happy family card. This is nuclear family. This is mom, dad, kids. If it's not nuclear family for you, if you're not of an age to have more children, this is just maybe your soul family. Maybe this move brings you in touch with your soul family, those people that you connect with on such a deep level. There's a lot of connection here in your new future. There is a lot of love. There's a lot of connection. It's very adventurous, but it is also good for you as an individual, and good for you establishing yourself out in the world in some way. Wow, I can't add anything to that. That is amazing. Let's talk about people. Aries energy, Gemini energy, and Scorpio energy. I don't know. This is a card of bliss, blissful fulfillment, actually. Just joyous. Got a couple of cards of joy. This is beautiful, you guys. This is going to be an amazing journey for you. All right. So for the angels and ancestors, I asked the question, what final words of wisdom do you have for pile 3, or what advice do you have for pile 3? And you got stag, trust, and thrive. And for the angel or sacred traveler, I asked the question, what does pile 3 need to do, if anything? What action do they need to take? And you got grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. I think this stag, trust, and thrive goes along with this. You are going out on this great adventure. You have no idea how it's going to work out. You hope for the best. This is saying trust. You just have to trust. You have to take this leap of faith, and you have to trust that it's going to work out for you. And it is. You are going to thrive. There's definitely thriving in this reading. And then grace and gratitude. Through gratitude, joy expands. So this is just a gentle reminder. I don't know. I try to remind myself this every day. Gratitude just draws things in. It just draws all the good stuff into you. If you can just like make a list of all the things that you're grateful for. I do this routine like it's an exercise, walking, and I got it from Anthony Robbins a long time ago, by the way. He calls it an hour of power. You just walk, you do some breathing, and then you go through this exercise of all the things that you're grateful for. And that's just a good practice. You don't have to do it that way. You can just write it down in a journal. Keep a journal by your bed, and before you go to bed, just think of all the things that you're grateful for that happened in that day, that you saw in that day, that you feel from that day. It's just being in an attitude of gratitude, and that brings so much joy in your life. And this is also saying to me that is how this has happened. You have been in an attitude of gratitude, and because of that, it's just pulling all of this good stuff into you, which is amazing. This is a beautiful yes. Okay, that's all I have for pile 3. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste. Welcome back, my friends. If you chose pile 4, these are going to be your messages for the yes or no pick a card. Pile 4 had the blue tiger's eye on it. Oops. So the blue tiger's eye, and I think probably all blue stones, help with communication and help you express yourself. It also provides mental clarity, and it reduces anxiety. Gives you some focus and insight. In case you want to get one of those and put it in your pocket. All right. I need that blue tiger's eye right now. So, I chose tarot, first of all, to kind of get the messages. I'll hold off on these oracle cards. So just general messages to see if we can find a yes or no. You got the 4 of Wands, the 6 of Cups, and the Justice card. For the Druid Craft Tarot, you got the 4 of Cups. And you got the High Priest. Huh. Okay, so I do think this is a yes. I think there's something, I think it's a yes because of these 2 cards. The 4 of Wands is a victory card. It's a celebration. It's a happy home. But it can be a wedding. But it is a celebration, so that kind of tells me a yes. And then Justice. I think you're getting what you deserve. Finally, maybe. All right, so the 6 of Cups is nostalgia, it's childhood, it's can be someone offering you something in the way of love, somebody coming back from your past to offer you something in the way of love. You don't want it. You will, you don't want it. I'll say that, because this 4 of Cups is a card of dissatisfaction. It's like blah. Now, I will say that usually this is more internal. It's like, it's not really necessarily what you are being offered. Like these 3 cups are perfectly fine. Then you have this 4th cup that's been offered from the divine. It's perfectly fine, but you're kind of in a state of, I just don't want it. So maybe there was something in your past that wore you out kind of on the relationship level. Maybe a relationship with this particular person wore you out. Maybe a person that's coming back to you and wanting to offer you something in the way of a relationship. I don't know. Okay, so I will say this. I will say, for some of you, You will accept that person from your past. It moves the relationship. It's like you wanted them to come back. They're coming back to you after maybe a separation. Maybe there was some injustice, but justice is being served. Maybe there was a breakup. There was a third party situation. There was some kind of situation you felt like you were treated poorly, and you will get justice will be served. You will get your just desserts. So that may be why this person is coming back to you, and you want them to. And for some of you, it's going to end up in a marriage. And by marriage, I do not necessarily mean you're walking down the aisle and exchanging vows in front of. I say that you might be. Exchanging vows in front of a priest or whatever. Doesn't necessarily mean that. Marriage to me is living together too. Okay, so I include that as marriage. For some of you, you're definitely going to the church, you're going to the chapel, and you're saying your vows in front of an actual priest. This is the high priest. So if you relate it to the Rider Waite, it would be the Hierophant card. This is a card of orthodoxy, tradition. It's a card of church. It's a traditional religion, that kind of thing. Institutions. So it is generally a religious institution. It's the priest. So yeah, some of you may be actually having a wedding and going to the church and getting married, because this is the Four Wands, is a celebration around the home, and it can definitely indicate a wedding. But here's what I'm having a problem with. First of all, I thought it was a yes, but it was like it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good, and it took me a while to come to, yeah, you actually are taking this person back, because I think it was hard for you to do it at first. It was like, I don't know if I want this. I don't know. I think some of you are actually going to accept them. You're going to take them back, but it's not going to come easily. And my caution to you is to make sure that is exactly what you want. It can be that this is saying the balance is restored in the relationship. After some time, the balance is restored, and then you can move forward and get married. But I will say, you don't have to take this person back, male or female, if you don't want to. Be sure that you're doing it for all the right reasons. And the balance is restored before you walk down the aisle. That would just be my advice for you. For some of you, honestly, I don't think you're going to take this person back. I think this celebration is more about breaking free from this and moving forward, and finding someone that really does deserve you. Finding someone that does provide you with what you want, which is, I do feel like you want marriage, does provide you with that, traditional, stable relationship, that, traditional marriage kind of thing that I think you want. But I think there's another relationship out there for some of you that has more balance in it and is more what you deserve than this. I think some of you are not taking this person back. So I don't know what that means. I think, as far as yes or no, I don't know what that means. I think if your question was, will I get back together with this person and will we get married? Yes. If your question was, see, it could go either way, right? Will I get back together with this person from my past? For some of you, it's no. This is yes or no. How are we going to do that? I don't feel like everybody's going to get back with that person. I think they're going to move on to the better relationship. I'm going to have to call it a maybe. Okay, let's get a clarifier to see what it depends on, because I feel like half of you, and it's so split for me, Actually, in the beginning, I felt bad, so it might not be a split, really. It may be more, no, you're not getting back together with that person, than it is yes. But I do feel like some of you are going to get back together with that person, and you are going to get married. The balance is going to be restored in this relationship from the past. I think some of you are saying, no, I don't want it. I want something that I deserve. I want someone that will give me what I want, really, which is a traditional marriage. Okay, so I think my question is, this is going to be a maybe. And I think my question is, what does it depend on? If it is a yes, what will it depend on? If it is a yes, what will it depend on? Okay. Okay, so I've never done this way, by the way, but this is the way I'm going to do it today. Okay, so if it is a yes, it will depend on this. There has to be a new beginning in the relationship. There has to be, the swords are intellect, thoughts, ideas, that kind of thing. There has to be a conversation, I think, that brings about a new beginning. Not necessarily a conversation, but something has to bring about a new beginning for this relationship. There has to be a clear victory. The 3 tells me there might have been somebody else involved. This is you celebrating. This is you winning, like you win. I'm kind of getting victory here, victory here. There might be another person. Okay, I think what the yes depends on is if you are the clear, if this person lets go of that other person completely, whether it's somebody that they actually had a relationship with or that was still consuming their thoughts, doesn't necessarily have to be that person was in their life physically, but I think there was probably a third person. But you have to be the clear winner for you to, this person has to make a decision to cut off that other person for you to say, okay, I will move forward with you. And there has to be this. There has to be, for you, there has to be love. You're not going to accept, anytime, this is actually a pretty good couple, King and Queen of Cups. Anytime I get a good King and Queen of the same suit, that's a couple to me. But you guys are very loving, you're very giving, it's a good relationship, you're good at relating to each other. I feel like you're gonna be smart about this is what I think. You have to come out as the clear one that this person wants. There has to be some clarity in that. And then you have to develop this and be sure that you are here, that you guys are relating to each other in a very, very positive, happy, healthy, emotional, good, loving way, or you're not moving forward. So this is what has to happen for it to be a yes for you. There's got to be that clarity. You've got to be the winner. Now, for some of you, it's not a third party, but they're married to their job. You're not winning in their time and their attention and their focus. Something else is winning in their focus. It's another job, it's another person, it's something else. You have to be sure that you're the most important person. Your relationship is the most important thing. You guys have the priority. You guys can work out anything else. If they do have to have a period of time where they work too much or whatever, there's balance in the relationship though, right? If they have that period of time, it's not always, and they make up for it in some other way, and they just make your relationship a priority. That's the deal. That's the deal. That's what it has to happen for it to be a yes. Okay. So let's see what has to happen for it to be a no. What has to happen for this to be a no? For the people who are not supposed to get back together with that, or should not. I hate to say should, you can do whatever you want. For the people who it's not advisable to get back together with the person from their past. What has to happen for it to be a no? What has to happen for it to be a no? What has to happen for this to be a no? We got enough here? Let's see. Okay. So for the no's people, again, it's going to be somebody's coming back from the past and wants to get back together with you or start up again. You're not having it. You want something different. You want someone that will give you the whole deal, that you can marry and have a traditional relationship with, and someone where there's balance in the relationship too. I think this is unbalanced. You want this. Okay. So what has to happen for this to be a no? You got that 4 of Cups again. So you are very dissatisfied with this person. You just have to come to terms with the 4 of Cups. You are dissatisfied with this relationship. This relationship is not for you. You do need something more. You want something more, and you deserve something more. The second card that you got was the 2 of Pentacles, which is, again, that balancing thing. You got 2 cards of balance. So maybe it's that you weigh the pros and cons of this relationship. Maybe you write out on a sheet of paper the pros and cons for this relationship. On the pro side, on the con side, and then you come to a decision, because it feels like you're weighing it, right? You're like, oh, I don't know. So you need to weigh the pros and cons and come to a definitive, this is not for me. That's what happens. You look at it logically. You weigh it. You're looking at it logically. These are the pros. These are the cons. This is not working for me. I need to move on. And that's what has to happen. You need to weigh the pros and cons, because you will move on. This is the card of, it actually is a card of moving on to brighter days. It's leaving something behind. And I think you're leaving this relationship behind. You do have to realize that some of the problems are yours. You take some of the problems with you. No relationship is one person's good and the other person's bad. You have to own what you contributed to this relationship to make it not work. But you are owning that, and you are getting a respite from it, though. You're going to take a break. You're going to take a rest. You either take a vacation. That can be a literal vacation, like you go away and think. It can be just moving on to brighter days, leaving this, moving on to something better. And it requires this, a leap of faith. Because what you want, you don't know, to leave this relationship, you don't necessarily know if you're going to find what it is that you really want, which is the stable, loving, healthy, traditional relationship. You don't know if you're going to find it or not, but you have to take that leap of faith because you know it's not here. Okay, so that's what has to happen for this to be no. You just have to come to terms with it. You have to weigh the pros and cons, come to terms with it this relationship not offering you what you want. It's just not what you want. And then be willing to leap off into the unknown, take a leap of faith that you will find what it is that you want. Okay. For the angels and ancestors, I asked the question, just generally, what advice do you have for pile 4? What words of wisdom? And you got the drum, dream, and journey. Okay, so again, moving forward, journeying forward, daring to dream about this real relationship that you really want. So get very clear about what you want in a relationship and focus only on that, and that will take you toward that once you get really clear about the kind of relationship that you want. Dream it up in your head, baby. Okay, for the Sacred Traveler, I asked the question, what action does pile 4 need to take? What do they need to do, if anything? And you got stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. I love that for you guys. And I feel that for you guys. I think it's going to take some strength to take this leap of faith, to leave this behind. There is some comfort there. There's the comfort of that which you know. That's always easier than the things that you don't know. It's a leap of faith, total leap of faith, right? But you're going to muster your strength. You're so much stronger than you think you are. By moving away from this, you are stepping into your power, stepping into the unknown, and you're forging your own path. What is right for you? Okay, so that's great. Sorry, that feels like it took a bit to get there. A weird reading. I've never had a maybe like that was so either yes or no. And it felt so 50-50, so that's weird. So I hope that worked out for you guys. Leave a comment below if it helped you make some distinctions, or if it didn't. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of light and love. Namaste.